So today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about my history as a content creator, and I'm hoping to give you guys a little bit of motivation from the people that I've been talking to, helping them succeed in their channel. So stick with us. We'll be right back. So today I want to have a little bit of a conversation with you guys. I want the conversation about automotive content creators. So if you're a big channel, you have tons of success, this is not going to be the video for you. If you're somebody that feels like maybe you're struggling with your automotive content, maybe you're having a tough time, this is something I want to focus on. But maybe even you got big guys, maybe you get something out of this. I don't know. We're going to go over some stuff here. I got a little bit of pointers here, so if I'm kind of focusing on the screen, it's my thing. The thing is the beauty of this thing that we do is constantly growing, constantly learning, constantly taking those certain steps. I have not been good at being kind of the bullet points kind of guy. But that thing is I definitely want to try that today and really give you something that you can take a look at and hopefully take home with you. And kind of say, wow, I never thought of it like that, because everything is about perspective, if you will. So that's the thing is I made this channel originally so you guys to learn and move to that next level. I wanted it to be something that people could look at and say, hey, that Primo guy did it. First times he did it, he was okay with making mistakes. And that's the thing is I want you to be okay with making mistakes. But everybody tells you it's, make mistakes, keep doing this stuff. And I want you to get in it and do it. That's the point. You're never going to get anywhere if you don't just make the stuff. But the other thing is everybody says, do it and make the mistakes, and that's how you're going to learn. It's not about that. It really is. There are certain mistakes you're going to make that you never encountered before. But I want for people out there that have had this history to be able to learn something from somebody who has done it and not have to make those mistakes. The point is to be able to make 100 videos and say, hey, I made that mistake, but it's a unique mistake, or short end stuff. There's a lot of the stuff out here that's on content out here already that you can learn stuff like how to film a video or how to make solid content, how to tell a story. That's huge. That's stuff that a lot of people don't run into, and I want us to go over that. It's being part of this and doing this is a learning experience. So I'm hoping that a lot of people will be on with that learning experience. And that note, don't forget to like, subscribe, don't hit the bell icon so that you can get in it. If you like this and you get something out of it, hit the thumbs up. If it's something that, hey, you think sucks and you don't ever want to watch it again, I'm okay with getting a thumbs down. I got to learn. So, but what I don't like is if you don't say anything. If you watch it for 2 minutes and you just go away, your opinion means nothing to me. So have a great day. And I don't take it personal. I hope you don't either. So, one of my hobbies is obviously helping new creators. I constantly hear the little guys tell me this is tough, and honestly it is. Getting content, fighting content strikes. You guys that made songs, I did it the other day. We made our first 2 live streams, and in our first 2 live streams we had dings on them. It was great. So it's figuring out all this stuff. It's part of that, and it's a minefield out there. It's hard to dodge all the things right there that you're going to run into. So I see some of you making some quality content, some movie level stuff that really tells a great story, and you have maybe 100 views to it. So that to me would get very frustrating. There's a lot of times that I make content that doesn't get looked at. It doesn't really sink in, and you want to blame the algorithm. You want to blame all this other stuff, and it's easy to do that. And hey, some guys, I think that's kind of the right thing to do. But the reality is there's a bigger problem, and I see is you aren't competing against yourself. You see these big channels, you see these other people successing, and you say, hey, why aren't I doing that? And the problem is that when you see people like me that go out and do this stuff and get a lot of content and a lot of cool things, get invited to events and stuff like that, what you're not seeing is 100,000 hours of work that it took for them to get there, for us to get there, for a lot of the work that we put in to get to where it is. So what you're failing to see is all the potential that you have right now. The opportunities you have is incredible, and it's greater than anyone has had prior. This moment right now, the access you have to things like YouTube, to Facebook, all those things, you're at the forefront of that. This is the beginning of something. So what I want to do first is I want to give you a little bit of history of where I came from and what worked for me and what I had to face to get to this moment of having an actual channel and being a job. And I mean, I'm a professional. I get paid to do these videos. I know that sounds really stupid, but it is what it is. So let me give you a little bit of my history. So I started out in 1988. I started off with a VH camera. It was about the size of a shoebox. It probably weighed about 10 pounds. When I edited the footage, I had 2 VHS players, and it looked like crap. But I still made videos. I made gaming videos, and I sold those out of the back of my car. When the DVD era came out, I got a smaller camera. Thankfully, I got something cool. But it didn't have the ability to change stuff into video. So I had to take the camera film that I had, plug in an audio-video cable to save it on my computer, and that's how you did it. And a lot of that stuff came. I had to make DVDs. I had to make a program that would actually make DVDs, and I bought a program that would actually make prints. It was a big circular thing, print on the DVD. Yes, it looked like crap, but I sold them, and it worked. And I'm not saying I made hundreds of $1 million. A lot of people did way better than me, but I was a power seller on Etsy. I was a power seller on eBay. I did that by going out and getting car parts from people and putting that stuff up. And that was huge for me. I couldn't believe it. Here I was making $2,000, $3,000, sometimes a lot of money, getting into that stuff. And I hit a lot of fences. It became more like this new world was becoming a big thing where it was like, okay, here's the new world of people making content. So, but I edited. When I went from that to editing people's cars websites. I ran forums. If there was something that I could do, I wanted to be in it. I wanted to be part of it, and I just did it. So let me get that. I want you guys to see this video camera. It's hilarious. So yeah, this is my camera. This is my fixed one. You can see it's broken. It was like always broken. So this has a little, there we go. So it pops open. It has a little camera here. But what this had, here's the memory stick in here. The memory stick was away. See, it's already broken, like it's popped out at distance. But this had a plug somewhere on the side here. Wow, look at this camera thing. Look at that. That's crazy. So, but what this had on it was it had a little plug, and it was audio, video out. So it had the little modes here. But I could plug this. I could film it on the cassette. And then, there it is. So there's the little yellow thing. I plugged it into that from the VH to the VHS player, or to the, now later on I plug it into the computer. And then I could grab that video on this. And that was how I made my DVDs. It's pretty crazy, isn't it? So, after that, I was so happy when LimeWire came out. Now I had a chance to actually put my content out, and I could put it out to the world. I wasn't stuck doing little things. Anything I could sign up for. If I signed up for Car Domain, Street Fire, whatever, I have my content on there. And honestly, the whole time I was broke. I had no money. Even when I made stuff, the stuff that I made, it was gone before I had started. I had to sell my car just so I could move. I had to move. The thing too that I added it to was I had gone through a big divorce. The thing was I was starting to recoup from all this negativity that I had in my life, and that was a good thing because I was starting to focus more on actually making some content. So back then, the concept of monetization, it wasn't even a thought. But if I could get odd jobs writing for like Hot Import Nights or other publications, and most of the stuff I didn't make money for it. I just did it for basically the attention, if you would. And that I know for a lot of you guys back then, if you were a camera guy, people would be like, hey, do it for the exposure. Yeah, I fell down that trap. And then later on, I was the guy that told people, hey, don't fall for that trap. But that's the beauty of what we're going through right now, is to be able to teach you guys that, hey, you're doing this. If you really are a professional, don't do it for free. So during this time, I'm still holding down a regular job. I was sometimes working 100 hours a week or more trying to get this thing launched, and not just from doing my job of being. If you've ever worked in the car world, that's big hours. Like it's not 40 hours a week, 60 hours a week, responding to leads and stuff like that while I'm at home, on vacation, all that stuff. And people got mad at me for that's the thing that's crazy. All that work I put in, people got mad at me and yelled at me and said, don't do what you're doing. I'm having people telling me they want me to teach at conventions, and I don't see if it. To me, it didn't feel like work. It felt like fun. It felt like doing the right thing. If you're doing the right thing, you're doing the right thing. But I understand a lot of you guys don't want to put in that work, and it's something that we're talking about here. About, hey, do you want to put in the work? That's a big question. But now I have YouTube, I have Rumble, I have Facebook, I have Instagram, I have Twitter. I could literally start a channel with my phone. I don't need that camera anymore. I don't need the GoPros. I kept buying stuff for equipment, kept moving up the ladder here, and now you got a switcher. I got a 8-channel soundboard. I got a PC, all this stuff. You don't even need it. That's it. But I have all this stuff, laptop, and right now I can, whatever's on my screen right now, I'm going to record it, and I'm going to put it up later, and it's going to be something you guys can watch. It is so easy right now to make a channel, to make content, that it's just, you could fall and make a video and do something. So let me be frank. You don't have a leg to stand on when you complain. There's no reason that anybody couldn't do this. If somebody can come on YouTube or in Rumble or whatever, turn on their volume up and then record themselves slopping food for 30 minutes while they whisper into a video. Filming a car show should be a no-brainer. Talking cars should be no big deal. It's so easy for us to share something that we have. And every time we do a show, it's a new show. It's something that I learn. We have a conversation every time I have with somebody. It's something I didn't know about cars or the community or something before. And that's part of this learning experience. That's what makes this fun and interesting. So that's the thing is you don't need a car. You don't need to build up all this equipment. You don't need to have access to shows or car shows or any of that. You don't need anything. The content is literally rotting on the vine out there. Car launches, vehicle coverage. Go get a job at a dealership. Sit there and cover cars that they bring in. I'm sure that they need that coverage. Nobody wants to do it, and nobody lets them touch it. So if you can make anything that's moderately good and follow some kind of rule, there's a job for you out there to actually do this. And it's a good way to get started and build friendships, build this future for yourself. So I know you want to record something you want to record, or write something you want to write. And I understand people say no. They don't want you to come out. They don't want you to record the stuff. I get it. But that's part of this thing. That's part of this life. No is what you want to hear. If you're not hearing no, you're not doing it. You're not doing this right. So no is what you need to learn to live with. You can cry about all the no's, or you can go out there and find it and just push it enough to be a yes. You can make content, be in people's faces. I want you to be out there so much that they can't understand a world that's without you. I want them to see you all the time. Just be part of their life. So it's the thing right now, it seems like I'm giving away a lot of trade secrets, doesn't it? And you may say, hey, you know what? Why are you committing suicide, giving away all this input and helping people with this positive thing? Many of you guys don't want to share your success. You don't want to help others. And guess what? That's why you're going to fail. That's why your content is going to keep going until you finally get bored and finally give it up, and just when it's not going to do what you want it to do anymore. And that's why those big channels, you make all those crazy videos, all this great stuff, and you get 100 views. You put in all that work and you get nothing for it. That's the thing is you had no speech in the video. You had nothing that grabbed people, nobody that was part of it. And so if you want a market, and I mean a market, you have to create one. And that content has to be everywhere. It can't be just your one little video that somebody goes, hey, good job, and somebody pats you on the back, and that's it. Your friends and family are not what you need. You need other creators. You need people that, like, all the people that I sit out there and I push to do content, those are 5 or 6 guys. I want those guys on my show to talk about making content. I want them to talk about the car shows that they do. These things, the reason why we have 1 or 2 good shows in other areas is because nobody talks about them. Nobody even knows. Half of them don't even know it exists. And the thing is, I'm one person, and everybody looks to me and goes, hey, can you share that content to me? I can't. Do you realize right now, I have 600 people plus on each one of the genres that I can access. So if you muscle car, exotic, luxury, all that, 600 people minimum that fall into one of those brackets, and some of them fall into the market twice. You're in a Maserati, you're a luxury guy, you're an exotic guy, and you may be the kind of guy that likes going to muscle car shows too. I can't remember them all. I can't be to every show. I'm one person. We make it difficult. I mean, we're talking to Matt Matson of Untamed today, and he was bringing up some really good ideas about how to cross promote some of this stuff, and I just think they're great. I'm going to jump on board with it. Some of you guys that look at that and say, I'm not sharing that. I don't want to be a part of that. I just want to keep it tight to my chest. I don't want that stuff to get out there. Well, if you keep it too tight to your chest, it never gets made. It never becomes anything. If it never becomes anything, we don't have a market. And if we don't have a market, people aren't interested. That's the thing, is you need to be huge. So think of it like this. The reason you have an automotive world right now is because there was probably a guy by the name of Ford, and he made an assembly line. And the reason we have so much to talk about is because of movies like Ford versus Ferrari. The reason those movies was created and why he created the assembly line was he learned it from a company called Ransom Olds was the name of the guy that he learned that assembly line. He made it better. And then obviously, Oldsmobile, that's where that came from. And then there's a guy by the name of Ferdinand, and he came over from Germany, and he looked at Henry and said, can you show me the line? And Henry gave away his trade secrets, that you'd say, and they learned all the stuff, and then he made a brand, and that brand was called Porsche. And then Ferdinand said, hey, you know what, I'm going to learn some of this technique, and then he created a car by the name of the Volkswagen, or Germans, the people's car. But yeah, so that came over that, and you know what all these vehicles have in common, which I think you're going to laugh about? Those are the largest selling vehicles in history. Ford Model T held the position of most sold car for the longest time. The VW Bug held the position for a long, long time. It was finally beat by the a Toyota Camry, which I wouldn't doubt if they got some of their ideas from. Obviously, they have an assembly line, so all those ideas fueled over to something else. But all these big brands and all these big name cars, they all have the same history. You can lead them back to all the people that work together and learn from the best to do the stuff that they do today. And you could say right now, well, Ford doesn't have a car that sold the most cars of any other car out there, but their number one selling car right now in the world right now is the Ford F-150. It's a truck. And that's the thing is if you want to learn to be the best person out there, first you have to be the guy that makes the assembly line. And then you have to share that assembly line with other people. You have to be the leader, and then you have to have a community underneath you that continues to promote that and put it out. If it's just the Ford Model T, what do we have? I mean, look, there's plenty of room at the top. Ford doesn't make the same car. Porsche doesn't make the same car. But if you only let a few of you guys crawl your way to the top, we won't have a car world when it's all over. We need to start pulling each other up. And we have a huge opportunity here, and we're letting it rot on the vine. Right now, I'm trying to work with tons of other channels, content creators, even people that I don't make videos with, that'll never be on my channel, because I want everyone to survive. Because when each one of those guys survive, we all survive together. I want everyone to get a piece of this pie. And at some point, this may turn into a channel. You tune into a channel, and people will tune in to watch this channel with all these different content. Look, I'm one guy. Like I said, I can't invite everybody. I can't make every video. I need other people to do this with me. I need a producer. I need guests. I need people that are fighting laws, that are doing the stuff that I can't do because I'm doing all these other things. And that's what makes a community. That's what pulls us all together. So I understand not everybody wants to make movies or videos, and not everybody wants to be in the videos or do whatever. That's fine. But the thing is I'm going to ask all you guys out there, and out of the 100 people I ask, I think 10 of you will say yes. That if you want to be on this and be drawn into it, but you have to make the content for us to get it done. So I hope you want to be a part of this, but to do that, you've got to make a decision right now. Do you really want to do this, or you want to do the easy job? Do you want to complain because nobody's handing you the hits? Is this really just a weekend thing? It's not something you really want to do. Is it really just a hobby? Or is this something you want to do because for a lot of you, this isn't just making you money? Even when you do monetize, there's there's no chance that you're going to make a lot of money out of this. And if you're not making money out of this, this isn't going to last forever for you. If it's not something that can survive day to day and pay your bills, you're not going to keep doing this video thing. You're going to end up getting a 40-hour-a-week job or more. Hopefully you get something in the car world so to keep it going. But once you start working in that car world, do you really think if you work for some other company, they're going to be okay with you making videos promoting their competition? No. If you get paid, you don't have to worry about anything else. That's it. This is your job. Then this is what it works, and you can work for everybody, and you are the boss. And that's the beauty of what I do is I hated working for one brand. I wanted to work for all the brands. I wanted to put them all together, make them all successful, and conflicts of interest. Now, when I do my own thing, I can push any business I want, any car show I want, any type of car I want, and we can go over all those things, and you can pick and choose. In fact, I would suggest picking something and get laser focused on what you like doing, whether that be car shows, whether that be a certain brand, maybe even hey, you want to see manuals come back. That's your whole channel. Trust me, there's a channel out there that's dying to have you. But there are guys out there right now, they're making cartoons and they get millions of views. They aren't advertising anything. They make, I want to say, half the money that they probably could make if they really wanted to do it right. And why do they survive? And that's because you're making the same mistake that every other car channel before you did. There are a bunch of people all doing the same thing, supporting each other's content that they love. And let's do what Porsche did. Let's figure out that model and make content that everyone wants to watch over and over again so we can all succeed together. Like I said, there's plenty of room here for everybody. There's all these different channels. There's all this different stuff. And that's the thing is we just need to find out what works and work together to make sure that we're merged together as a goal in our little bitty pieces so that we're a whole mobile body that works out there and is able to get this content to people so that we can all succeed together. That's my pitch. 23 minutes of it. Man, it's been rough. So yeah, it was a lot longer than I expected it to be, but that's the thing is it's something that needed to be said. I'm hoping it's going to save me a lot of time when talking to a lot of you guys, just getting over that hump, because a lot of times that's what I just tell you. You might right now think that I'm talking about you. I'm not. I'm talking about probably 16 to 20 different people that I've had the same conversation with over and over and over again. And the reason I have that conversation with you is because you matter, because you are the guys that are putting in the work to help us reach that next goal. And if I don't help you do that, I'm scared that you might just sit by the wayside and give up on this. And it's the thing is maybe it's not for you. Maybe it's something you should give up on. Maybe it's something, hey, this isn't for everybody. I'm okay with that. Some of you guys might just be like, hey, do you mean how many guys that went into the music industry when I was playing in a band, and I'd see those guys fall by the wayside left and right. They couldn't do it. Sometimes they get to that point where that was successful and they were done and it was over and that was life, and they couldn't do it. And it's not against it. Hey, when I did pro wrestling, not everybody can do pro wrestling. There's 2 or 3, maybe 20% of the guys that would make it. And of those guys, 1 to 2% of those guys would ever see a TV show or anything beyond local access. It's a tough gig, and I understand it. So why do I do it? And I hate to say it, it's a passion. It's who I am. I think it's probably the most arrogant thing I'm going to say right now, but that's the thing is they wouldn't let me leave. I tried to get out, and it just wasn't ever going to happen. I just got into this. I drove the passion for it, and people just pulled me right back in and went back to saying, you got to help us do this run or this rally or this car show or whatever. And I said, you know what? I'm totally into it, and I'm vested in it. It's what I love. I love helping you guys succeed. I love seeing you make something of it. So like I said, the arrogance that comment is that people said, are you part of the car world? And I go, no, I'm not part of the car world. I am the car world. And I've been assimilated by it. And it's part of a nameplate that's come on me. And it's part of that exotic luxury world that kind of just really pulled me in. So I like wearing their banner. And that's the thing is it's the banner that if you see this on the chest right now, this right here, this represents a ton of people, and I wish I could thank them all. I can't. I don't have the time. Like I said, 600, 700 people out there. So, and a lot of you guys kicked me in the butt and said, stop complaining. Look where you came from. You don't have those problems anymore. So that's the thing is that's all I'm doing. I'm just passing down the stuff that I made mistakes on so that you guys don't have to make them. And I'm hoping you guys will share those mistakes with me so that, I don't have to make them, so that, I can't do drone footage right now. So some of you guys are going to be doing drone footage. I need it. So, and I got some good guys out there that do the stuff, and I really want to support them. So I'm hoping, sooner or later we can see some good stuff and all get together and make something really cinematic, and it'll be exciting, man. I'm really looking forward to this, and I'm sure you guys are too. Don't forget to check out these other videos. Don't remember, this is the Executive Automotive Society. I'm trying to find something to end these videos on to say something like, don't forget to drive. I kind of like that thing, but I want to make something different and something catchy. So if you guys got something, an idea or something, put it in the comments below. Remember, 90% of you guys aren't subscribed. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell icon. Keep supporting each other. And, let's have a community together. We'll talk to you guys soon. Have a great day. Bye.